Wonderful morning to you out there. It's really great to have you join us on the Break It On Papers Review. And of course, today is Boxing Day. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance to all our listeners. And we're hoping that today will be as beautiful as it sounds. We'll have a number of gifts to share with our loved ones this wonderful season itself. My name is GBOLABO Female School. And of course, as usual, we're going to be looking at some of the headlines coming out of some of our national dailies here in Nigeria. I have the Punch newspaper, the Nation newspaper, Nigerian Tribune, the Guardian, and a host of other papers here up for review. We'll head on very quickly with the Punch newspaper, and this says updated: Trump says U.S. launched numerous deadly strikes on terrorists in Nigeria. Federal government confirms U.S. strike on terrorist sites. Intelligence Corporation 2026 budget. Anambra, Enugu, Kano lead in education funding. Christmas Day tanker explosion claims 2 lives in Lagos. And police foil Benue Christmas Day kidnap. Attempt rescue victim. And we have a couple more here. Explosion reported in Sekoto community. A Metro Plus page. Police foil Benue Christmas Day kidnap attempt rescue victim. Hit and run driver kills pedestrian in Ogun. NDLEA cracks down on Jigawa drug peddlers. Lagos fire, China returning, others still trapped in traders' count losses. Free Niger pupils, teachers reunited with families. That's according to BAUSE. And the federal government reshuffles NCAA directors amid corruption allegations. Unitide bans one against holiday frauds. Coleman MD projects manufacturing growth in 2026. Alright, still here on the Break It On Papers Review, taking more headlines from the cable NG this morning. And on the cable, we have a number of headlines as well. Alright, while we wait on cable to come on, we quickly take a look at another paper, and we'll look at the Guardian and get some headlines out of the Guardian newspaper, Nigerian Guardian. And we have here: Trump announces U.S. strikes on terrorists in Nigeria. Bajabiamila remains chief of staff. Presidency clarifies. 2 die as diesel tanker explodes in Lagos on Christmas Day. And more here says 6 for House of Assembly members dump PDP for APC. Alright, this says Kogi Rep distribute food items to constituents for Christmas. Police claim suicide bomber behind Nigeria's deadly mosque blast on Christmas Eve. And King Charles calls for reconciliation in Christmas speech. Fuba's wife gifts children at Christmas. Alaafin hails Makinde as courageous visionary leader. And Christmas message: IPA calls for prayers, unity. Federal government urges Nigerians to promote peace, unity at Christmas. Abou Shade preaches hope, unity as Oyo residents celebrate Christmas. And here, still talking Christmas, Kenya Church celebrate birth of Black Messiah at Christmas. 7 sustained injuries in Lagos Ibadan Expressway auto crash. Alright, Niger recruits forest guards, urges discipline and resilience. And a bit of entertainment here says Pastor Okafor demands DNA test as lady claims to be daughter. All of those are some of the headlines out of the Guardian newspaper this morning. We also look at the Nation. Here on the Nation: Nigeria U.S. hit terrorists in Sokoto. Federal government Borno attack won't deter us. We will continue to promote religious tolerance, says Tinubu. And more here, still here on the Break It On Papers Review. And this says Christmas, governors, senators orders preach peace, unity. Support inmates correctional centers. Baines wins CGMA business leader challenge. And that's from the university community. Among here says to Adelgo with love set for February release. A bit of entertainment, more politics. 2027, Tinubu will win Oyo convincingly. Ex-Oyo chief whip slams Makinde. And Tinubu named Speaker Abbas to chair APC Reconciliation Committee in Benue. Ex-lawmaker Dayamola hails Tinubu military welfare initiatives. Appreciates soldiers in Ekiti. PDP will set up caretaker committee And still talking politics, how to end insecurity by 𝐒𝐲𝐄. Alright, a bit of security news there. We'll go back to the Daily Post and also get some headlines out of the Daily Post. Here says Nigeria government confirms U.S. military airstrikes and terrorists, but 𝐷𝐵𝐿 not sacked as Tinubu's chief of staff presidency debunks report. And ACF condemns below suicide bomb blasts. Western flee as U.S. missile lands in Sokoto. Trump's airstrikes halt military cooperation with U.S. immediately, Shagulu tells Tinubu government. Tax system, government wants to tax oxygen, that's according to NLC. And NIMET forecast 3-day sunshine, cloudiness from Friday. And a bit more here says 6th time for our lawmakers dump PDP for APC. Abiodun promises peaceful transition in 2027. Congress votes out non-performing party leaders. Adije charges Abia APC members. Bashir Shaba, Nigeria, that's Niger governor's SSA resigns, dumps APC for ADC. PDP is gone, can't be fixed, Hakim Baba Ahmed speaking there. And a bit of sporting news here says AFCON, he was everywhere, Lisa, to Super Eagles player who impressed him. All of these are some of the headlines out of the Daily Post this morning. And a quick look at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We also have a number of headlines here too from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Alright, still the breaking on papers review in case you're just joining us from your laughter dial 32 FM 94.9, and we'll take a bit more before going on our first break this morning. Precision hits on terrorist targets. Nigerian government confirms U.S. airstrikes. U.S. launches airstrikes against terrorist targets in Nigeria. Virtually all the papers have that headline this morning. But 𝐷𝐵𝐿, still chief of staff to Tinubu presidency, clarifies Maiduguri mosque bombing. Tinubu orders deployment of additional tactical teams. There will be many more. Trump speaks on U.S. airstrikes in Nigeria. And more here says Badaro, other ministers who have resigned for dismissed or dismissed under Tinubu administration. And your WhatsApp to Nigerians remain hopeful Tinubu's reforms will deliver stability, prosperity. Alright, we'll go on that break, and when we do come back, we'll be having more on the Break It On Papers review. Please just stay with us.
Stay tuned to the 32 FM 94.9.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my Maggie gave to me 12 spices, suya, 11 orishi, 10 cups of my mind, 9 of oriro, 8 plates of ngwabi, 7 pepper soup, 6 season snails, 5 fried fish, 4 cocoa bangles, 3 party jollof, 2 is dodo, and fufu with egusi, oh. A delicious holiday season with Maggie. Me and Maggie, so good together. Me and Maggie, so good together. Maggie,
kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Ó ga òun gbogbo ìgbà tí mo bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ tàbí gbowó wọlé fíà mo kàn máa fa oríṣiríṣi owó yọ lọ́wọ́ mi ni. Owó àláàtì, owó ìfowóránṣẹ́ àti owó lórí pé mo san bíìlì pẹ̀lú wọn kò láàánú ènìyàn rárá o.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́ pé pẹ̀lú smart cash o lè fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ mìíràn, san gbogbo bíìlì rẹ kó dẹ̀ tún gba àláàtì gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Kódà wọ́n tún máa san ìdá 15% owó èlérí fún ẹ lórí owó tí o bá fi pamọ́ lọ́dún.
Ṣé lóòótọ́ àwẹ̀ fọ́nà mi? Báwo ni mo ṣe máa darapọ̀ mọ́ smart cash?
Ó yá ká lọ. Kàn tẹ *939# tàbí kí o download app smart cash lónìí kí o lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbádùn gbogbo ìdúnàdúrà rẹ láì ní owó àfikún kankan. Smart cash, money matter na sense. Smart cash wà látọwọ́ INT'L.
All across Nigeria, one truth prevails. Football is not just played on the pitch. Arguments fly, tensions shift like defenders on the pitch. And when the ball finally enters the net, that is the 12th player full attack mode. 11 players play on the pitch, but we, the fans, play from anywhere. With Betano, fans don't just watch the match, we influence the game. Register now and join the 12th player. Betano, not for persons under the age of 18. Bet responsibly.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavity and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, number one oral care brand in the world.
Wake up, it's choco time. Donna Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Donna Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Donna Choco 3 in 1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my Maggie gave to me 12 spices, suya, 11 orishi, 10 of my mind, 9 my fodito, 8 pets of ungwabi, 7 pepper soup, 6 season snails, 5 fried fish, 4 cocoa bangles, 3 patty jollof, 2 𝐒𝐍𝑆 and fufu with egusi. Have a delicious holiday season with Maggie. Me and Maggie, so good together. Me and Maggie, so good together.
àmọ̀ pé kí ló fẹ́ ra yẹn. òróró ìsebẹ̀ ni mo fẹ́ ra jàre. òróró àbúrò tí ò lórúkọ kẹ̀. owó rẹ̀ kò wọ́n rárá ó sì máa ń gbádùn rẹ̀. àmọ̀ pé wọ́n ti pé ìfà máa fani lápòyà o. òróró wo ló wá fẹ́ kí n rà báyìí. òróró Devon Kings ló yẹ kó o ra. ó jẹ́ òróró ìsebẹ̀ tó pójú owó ó sì kún fún èròjà aṣaralóore vitamin A.
òróró ìjọ ohun tí mo lè yàn láàyò fún èmi àti ìdílé mi.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ò parọ́. ó lè ra ìwọ̀nba tí owó rẹ̀ bá ká o sì mọ̀ pé wàá gbádùn oúnjẹ aládùn tó bá fi òróró náà sè.
òótọ́ ló sọ ó ṣeun ọ̀rẹ́ mi. mo rí dájú pé mo sọ fún gbogbo ènìyàn pé òróró ìsebẹ̀ Devon Kings ni òróró ìsebẹ̀ tó dára.
ó dára bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ mi.
Devon Kings òórùn aládùn adùn tó kó ẹbí àti ara mọ́ra ó wà ní gbogbo ilé ìtajà jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Diola.
I just want to say that I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Hello, Daddy. I just want to say again that I love you and I like that we look alike. Hello, Auntie.
Hi, Diola.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How's family? I hope everyone is good. My regards to everyone.
I will, my dear.
Whoa. Diola, this is the third time you're calling me. How much airtime do you need?
Airtime care? When I have Glow Talk Master. I'm basically getting 6 minutes free talk time for every 6 minutes call I make every day. Plus 50 MB data bonus. And for new customers like me, I get additional 25 minutes talk time and 1 GB data welcome bonus. That's why I only make calls with my Glow line now.
Enjoy free 6 minutes plus 50 MB data on every 6 minutes call you make in a day on Glow Talk Master, and enjoy a one-time 2,000 naira welcome bonus. That's a 25 minutes talk time and 1 GB worth of data. Get your Glow line and dial *606# to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply. Unlimited.
Start your day and have a good time.
𝐃𝐈𝐒
Where you need to have the break time.
𝐃𝐈𝐒
Unati Papa Garita.
𝐃𝐈𝐒
On the 12th day of Christmas, my Maggie gave to me 12 spices, suya, 11 orishi, 10 of my mind, 9 my fodito, 8 pets of ungwabi, 7 pepper soup, 6 season snails, 5 fried fish, 4 cocoa bangles, 3 patty jollof, 2 𝐒𝐍𝑆 and fufu with egusi. Have a delicious holiday season with Maggie.
when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello? Do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Welcome back. You're still on to Break It Down People's Review here on the Laughter by 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're going into the analysis. Papa will have Austin Odin already standing by for us to do the analysis. Austin, it's great to have you back. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, GBOLABO. Merry Christmas to you and happy Boxing Day today.
All right, I guess we can start off with this. Trump, his administration launching an airstrike here in Sokoto State. This has caused a number. Many Nigerians woke up to that news, and there's been a footage released by the U.S. government of the operation, how they were able to distort or disrupt the activities of a terror camp in Sokoto State. And swiftly, the government of Nigeria has also reacted that this is actually not without their knowledge. There is a cooperation between the U.S. and Nigeria for this particular targeted attack itself. But Austin, we also have Gumi on one side, and we know he's a very controversial man when it comes to the issue of these terror groups and their demands. And he's saying the government of Nigeria should immediately withdraw whatever cooperation it has with the U.S., that the U.S. does not have any moral grounds to launch an attack looking at its military records in the world today. But we've not seen Gumi coming out to condemn the Borno Mosque bomb blasts that claimed about 5 lives. Also, what do we say to all of this development and Gumi's reaction here?
Yeah, first of all, I think the airstrike, as confirmed by Nigeria government, they term it structured attack. If it's a structured operation, it means that there is a kind of cooperation, collaboration, and sharing of intelligence. If that is true, fine. We want that. Whatever the case may be, we actually need help to exterminate these guys. They have terrorized our people for too long. Whatever it will take, we want to take them out. What personally I do not want is American government just unilaterally coming to drop bomb on the Nigerian soil. There is what we call AFRICOM. I think it's a US/Africa-based military operations. If that can be exploited to be able to nip this crisis in the bud, it's a welcome development. As for Sheikh Gumi, of course, Sheikh Gumi need to be called to order by now, because his activity is also very detrimental to the national peace. Because you can't find a situation where some people have, for no reason, decide to rise up against the state through wanton killing, destruction of property and killing of innocent citizens. You have a soft spot for them, sympathetic to their cause. He has a lot of information with him, and I think it is high time perhaps the DSS will invite him and query him. He was talking about US operations, maybe a place like Gaza, Syria, and some other places where US has intervened. Of course, you and I know that military intervention of the US does not really solve those countries' problem. Most of the time, the country become worse off after US intervention. That is why we are saying that extra care must be taken. Nigerian sovereignty must not be undermined. We are the most populous black people on earth, so that is significant. So whatever efforts that is going into it, let there be collaboration from all education. Our government need help, because it shows that we cannot win this war. So if we cannot win this war, we need external forces by way of synergy to help us with superior military power to be able to exterminate these guys once and for all.
Well, what do we learn from the Trump administration here, Austin? He is a man who spoke his word and he kept to his words. We've never seen that most of the times from our political leaders in Nigeria. They say one thing, they mean another thing. Now, what do we pick out of Trump insisting that these people must go down, and his administration will launch strike, and he kept to that promise itself?
Yes, insisting that this terrorist must go down, for me, on the face value, is a good one. It's not as if Trump is a saint. Anybody that thinks Trump likes Nigeria or Trump likes Christian, that person is deceiving him or herself, except you don't know Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a bully, is a non-presidential person, even in the history of America. He does his things irrationally. He likes to bully other people. He feels that he's more equal than any other presidents in the world. But if it is to exterminate these terrorists, of course, like I will always say, I 100% support him. Because, for example, a lot of people are looking at Trump as being ironical and also be economical with some of the things that he says. If you say you are fighting for Christian in Nigeria, for example, and you are worshiping MBS, who do not even allow Christianity in his country, for example, you are worshiping him, signing a lot of deal with him. So some people see it as double standard hypocrisy. But GBOLABO, you know what? I blame our leaders for this. It is because we cannot solve our problem. That is why a Donald Trump in the United States of America is trying to meddle in our situation. It is unfortunately so, but this is where we find ourselves. It is because we cannot deal with ourselves. We cannot deal with our problem. We have leaders that cannot solve our problem. We have leaders that cannot genuinely work for the people. That is why we are having this type of issue. Otherwise, Donald Trump is somebody to be kept at arm's length. That's my personal view.
Poor electricity supply likely to linger. Many homes were in total darkness. There was no power in many homes in Nigeria, and we have INT'L as a Tuesday assuring the electricity supply would improve within 48 hours. Nigerians are yet to see that. He blamed it not on grid collapse this time around. He said there was an explosion at the 𝐒𝐍𝐆 Lagos gas pipeline. Now, Austin, it's so mind-boggling that at this point Nigeria does not have a backup or an alternative when there is a particular issue, because obviously you have equipment to run down, you have instances of power plants malfunctioning, but what is our backup system in Nigeria? Tax are being collected for many Nigerians. If you want to pay for electricity, you pay the tariff and all of that. And many are beginning to judge the political leadership in terms of the appointments to offices like the power sector itself, especially at the political level. What do you say with INT'L figure in the power sector itself?
Well, INT'L has not performed in that sector. He has not really delivered as far as I'm concerned. But don't also forget too, we have a lot of issues within the power sector. A lot of issues that raises from investment, that ranges from constraint, gas constraint, and so many other things. Weak infrastructure within the system. We have weak and obsolete infrastructure that barely can even be able to sustain us with what we can generate and even transmit. So we also talk about backup, that is even zero. If at this time we still over around how many megawatts, maybe 5,000, 6,000 megawatts, the one that we have capacity to transmit, that is shameful, because stability in electricity, for example, can reignite or kickstart industrialization of the country. But then it is really so sad that we can't even generate enough power to put our people in valid employment. As for maybe we just look forward to a situation where the Minister of Power can change. We have people who have the technical know-how. There are ministries that people can gamble with, but I do not think it should be the minister. It should be the Ministry of Power. Somebody of the caliber of a Minister of Power, for example. In my personal opinion, INT'L should have been put in areas like finance or budget or something, because that is his area of comparative advantage. But of course, if you are put in any ministry, you might not be the one to do the work alone. Even if you don't have this technical know-how, you need to assemble a formidable team, those who are familiar with the sector. But it is like garbage in, garbage out. the one that we have done in recent time, which I think the government really need to look at that particular ministry. Adelabu, for example, is cost conscious. You know, from his background, he feels that for power to even be stable at all, it has to be relatively expensive, to the extent that a band A household in Nigeria pay more than a household in California. That is absurd. I just wonder, last week I just realized that every of my family members have been put on band A. Of course, relatively there is improved power to a large extent, but then it is not the same across board. If I have regular supply, for example, and you don't have, we can't use that to judge, right? Because we can only judge with that if there is relative stability and availability in all homes, maybe like 60, 70, 80%. But if a session is having and another session is having, we are also talking about weak infrastructure earlier. Of course, if I have and you don't have, it might not be that there is no power. It could be that along the line something has broken down due to theft, vandalism, or what have you. So it's a whole lot of problem that the government had to face. But for us to move forward and develop industrially, we must get our power sector right. That's the truth.
The offices in Nigeria, political efforts in Nigeria are so attractive in terms of some of the learners that are in a way under the care of some of those that have been elected or selected or confirmed, approved by the National Assembly to serve at very critical point of our political sphere. If you look at this story, EFCC files charges against ex-EGF Malami, son for amassing 212 billion naira properties. Now, this is coming up. Malami is just one out of many other political officials that have led in at one point or the other. This story has been going on and on. Austin, what do we make out of this latest one by the EFCC?
Yeah, I think the case of Malami, it was a clear case of abuse of power, because I remember he was having issue with EFCC under Ibrahim Magu. Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, who should be the chief law officer, will now be the one to come on national television to say that until a criminal is proven guilty, he is innocent.
I'll have you hold your thoughts a bit. We'll go on this break, and when we do come back, we'll be having more on that. Please do stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
ọ̀gá ọkọ mi Chief Odogwu Akiwa ó dẹ̀ ṣe ó fi ń sáárá pẹ̀lú kóró ìsebẹ̀ Mr. Chef alágbẹ̀rán màálù gbogbo níṣe àtàlẹ́dùn ẹbí pẹ̀lú ìka méjì ní tí mo fi ràn Odogwu tí kì í jẹun níta tún di lọ sílé. Mr. Chef ìwọ ló ṣe léyìí o.
ṣe ìgbádùn ìtọ́wọ́ àṣà pẹ̀lú kóró ìsebẹ̀ Mr. Chef tó ṣe é fi ìka méjì rún. Ó wà ní kóró ìsebẹ̀ adùn adìẹ ẹran màálù àti gbogbo níṣe. Mr. Chef adùn oúnjẹ ilé adùn ìtọ́wọ́ àṣà.
Life is a series of decisions, from where to live, who to marry, to even what to eat. As you navigate these choices, we hope you've made the right ones so far. Now, let's talk about misses. We hope you've made the right ones so far. Now, let's talk about misses. We hope you've made the right ones so far. Now, let's talk about misses. We hope you've made the right ones so far. Now, let's talk about making a smart investment decision. Investing with Soft Sands Property, a leading real estate organization in partnership with 32 FM 94.9 could be one of the best choices you'll ever make. With our innovative estates like Orange Estate in Ido, Mango Estate in Akufo, and soon Banana Estate in Umiadio, you have numerous excellent options. Partnering with Soft Sands Property could be the game changer you need. Call or WhatsApp 0911 555 0055 or 0916 461 5000 or visit www.softsandsproperty.com for more information. Soft Sands, created to house the world.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my Maggie gave to me 12 spices suya, 11 orishi, 10 cups of my mind, 9 my 40, 8 plates of wabi, 7 pepper soup, 6 different snails, 5 fried fish, 4 cocoa bangles, 3 patty jollof, 2 𝐔𝐿 and fufu with egusi.
wake up. It's choco time. Donald Choco is here with a taste you love. Just open, pour, and enjoy the chocolatey ride. Choco 3-in-1. Ooh, taste it, love it. Donald Choco 3-in-1. Ooh, I love it.
Introducing the new Dano Choco 3-in-1. It's tasty, creamy, and satisfying. Taste it, love it.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my Maggie gave to me 12 slices suya, 11 orishi, 10 cups of my 9 mafariro, 8 plates of ngwabi, 7 pepper soup, 6 season snails, 5 fried fish, 4 cocoa bangles, 3 patty jollof, 2 is dodo, and fufu with egusi. Have a delicious holiday season with Maggie. Me and Maggie, so good together. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Ó ga ohun gbogbo ìgbà tí mo bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ tàbí gbowó wọlé fíá mo kàn máa fa oríṣiríṣi owó yọ lọ́wọ́ mi ni. Owó àláàtì, owó ìfowóránṣẹ́ àti owó lórí pé mo san bíìlì pẹ̀lú wọn kò láàánú ènìyàn rárá o.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́ pé pẹ̀lú smart cash o lè fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ mìíràn san gbogbo bíìlì rẹ kó dẹ̀ tún gba àláàtì gbogbo rẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Kódà wọ́n tún máa san ìdá 15% owó èlérí fún ẹ lórí owó tí o bá fi pamọ́ lọ́dún.
Ṣé lóòótọ́ àwẹ̀ fọ́nà mi? Báwo ni mo ṣe máa darapọ̀ mọ́ smart cash?
Ó yá ká lọ. Kàn tẹ *939# tàbí kí o dáwọ́lóòdù áàpù smart cash lónìí kí o lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gbádùn gbogbo ìdúnàdúrà rẹ láì ní owó àfikún kankan. Smart cash money matter na sense. Smart cash wá látọwọ́ INT'L.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Kí ni ẹ lè ṣe pẹ̀lú £200? Ẹ lè jẹ gbádùn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ adùn tí kò láfiwé pẹ̀lú páàkì kóró ìsebẹ̀ Mr. Chef's Small tuntun fún £200 péré. Ó wà ní adùn ẹran màálù, adìẹ, oríṣi èròjà gbogbo níṣe àti edé, owó kékeré, ìgbádùn ọ̀pọ̀ yanturu pẹ̀lú páàkì Mr. Chef's Small. Mr. Chef, adùn oúnjẹ ilé, adùn ìtọ́wò àṣà.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Alright, you're welcome back. I still want to break it up because you'll be here. Austin, you were on your thoughts before we went on that break in terms of Malami and the AFCC here.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of this atrocity that happened in the last administration. Let people pay for their sin, because we have evidence of people practically could not afford anything and they get nominated for political appointments and they suddenly became rich in billions. All of this must be evaluated. One of the major problems we have had to deal with as a country is unexplained wealth. People suddenly become prospered overnight. People suddenly become wealthy. Government appointment should not make you wealthy. It should be a service to the people. That is what we have found out. So let My problem is let EFCC do a thorough investigation. Don't just put him on trial because you don't like his face. Don't put him on media trial. Do a retrial. Let people go to jail. I think 2 days ago I was watching the video of the rice pyramid launched by the Buhari administration. I saw the rice, them Mayfield, all of them gathered. Where did they get those rice from? Where did the rice come from? What happened to Nigerian hair? A lot of people have to pay for a lot of things. It is because people don't pay for things. They do things and get away with it. That is why we are where we are today. So if he has infraction, if he has issue, let EFCC, let them look at his case, do thorough investigation, put him on proper trial, and at the end of the day, let's get justice. Not only to recover the money, people must be sent to jail so as to even serve as a deterrent. And we are also warning those in government. It is not enough to pardon people who have stolen our money. A lot of people have stolen our money and government give them presidential pardon. What is not the essence? It's like validation for criminality. So all of this must be put together to be able to sanitize the system. That's my take on that.
Alright, can we open the phone lines with about now 070-550-949 or 080-97949. Do remember we are also live on Facebook, 32FM 949 here with double E's. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, GBOLABO.
Good morning, sir.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Same to you,
I want to wish you a question too. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. You see, Malawi cannot go to jail. It's Buhari teams that who are not aligning with Tinubu, they will be disturbed under this election period. But however, GBOLABO, we ask a question. We said that is just one person. When the problem we have problem with two group of people, elites who are supporting Buhari and Tinubu, number one. Number two, have the other country borrowing the two of them money. All the money borrowed for 8 years, GBOLABO. Mention one significant thing Buhari used for. They share among all the ministers, all the APC people. Even the people, the money they said they are borrowing, there are some old people, they are paying 25,000 too. If they release it, they pay 10 about 100, the rest is market. But only to know that these two people cannot rule, but are supporting them. That's number one. Number two, you see the people who are saying the truth, by the time they see the too many Nigerians, they change. Finally, my sister, I want to commend Donald Trump for the air strike that he said it happened. But we want to know the terrorists. We know they are supporters that are in this government. Let's mention them, get them eliminated, and for people to know Nigeria. We have the best of today.
Thank you so much, Abdul from UI. The numbers again are 070-550-949 or 080-97949. You can also drop your comment here on Facebook, 32FM 949 here, or on YouTube. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, GBOLABO.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, sir.
Okay, thanks. Good morning. Happy Christmas. Good morning, Austin. This is Bingamari calling from Apata.
Okay.
I think what Donald Trump did, the hashtag his team launch on the country, I think is a good one. But one thing that made it successful was that they didn't share their intelligence information with the federal government. And that was why you found that launch to be a very successful one. Because if it were to be that the information was being, the intelligence was being shared with the Nigerian government, probably the terrorists might have had first-hand information that Donald Trump will be launching an attack on them, which is a very good one. And I would like the Nigerian government to learn from this, that they should never share their intelligence information whenever they launch attack on terrorists on the media, through the media platform, so that they will not be having first-hand information. And lastly, I want to ask Austin, that because there will still be kind of a continuous launch of air strike on this bandit, will there not be a kind of collateral damage to innocent Nigerians when this passes? Thank you very much and God bless you guys.
Thank you so much, Bingamari, for that. The numbers again are 070-550-949 or 080-97949. Austin, I want us to quickly touch on this, but our time is fast spent. We'll take this call. Hello, good morning.
Thank you, I'm Johnson. Thank you, Austin. Yes, if you say so concerning Malami, it is the position of the law that an accused is deemed innocent until the contrary is proved. And just like the action of the USA, Nigerians of good conscience like myself, where we support any action that the United States will take against this terrorists troubling this country. I'm John Newsom Joku once again. Thank you, and happy Christmas and New Year in advance.
Thank you so much, John Njoku, for that. Austin, I want us to quickly touch on this one before calling it a day, and I think we have barely like 30 seconds. NLC urges Nigerians to reject distorted, falsified tax law. And the NLC has also threatened to go on strike, which the government does not want to happen. So what do we say to what NLC has just come up with?
Yeah, going on strike for the distorted tax law, would that really work? I don't know. It's just like cutting off the head because you have a headache. We are urging the federal government to harmonize this tax law. If what is passed is different from what is gazetted, it means that some people have to be held responsible for that. But simply say you want to declare a nationwide strike because there is a purported distortion in the tax law, I do not think that is a way to go at this time. You know, NSA has always been thirsty for strike all along, any slight opportunity. But then the government must do the needful by ensuring that the correct thing is implemented, and Nigeria must be rest assured that these taxes is not going to result in double taxation. It's not going to multiply or replicate poverty like they make us to believe. It is taxing more the rich to actually take care of the poor. That is what is done in the Senate crime.
We must say a big thank you to you, Austin Odumo, for doing this with us, and to all our callers and those still calling, we say a big thank you. And those who dropped their comments on Facebook, we do also appreciate all of that. We have to leave the studios right about now. Do join us again tomorrow for another interesting edition of the Break It Down Papers Review. And of course, my name is GBOLABO, Famous School. The Smart Kids shows up